I reached till 5 months actually. I reached till 5 months and I had my first miscarriage. I was told there was no heartbeat. Every time I did it, I just felt, okay, God, just be kind. We're talking of just one chance. Just give me that one chance to be a mother. But no, every time it failed and failed and failed. डॉक्टर ने कहा कि आपकी यूट्रस लाइनिंग बहुत वीक है और क्योंकि आप इस उम्र में हो और क्योंकि आप 2 बच्चे कैरी कर रहे हो, so it's twins, you cannot risk it, so we will have to tie up your uterus. Nothing was formed. He did not look like a human. If I go right, I told my baby that little 2 minutes. I said, you know what? Your mother's been a fighter. You better be one. You better be one. People writing, बहुत बहुत चूल है, दादा दादी बच्चे के साथ घूम रहे हैं.
Today, I'm joined by a special guest whose journey to motherhood is truly inspirational. Not only does the journey spread across 15 years, the mental and the physical pain she has endured during this time is enough to make you teary-eyed. She is a proud mother to Yuman, an actress, a theatre artist, and a director. Vandana Khattar's story is truly something of perseverance and triumph. She is a supermom in truest sense, and I'm super proud to have her today here with me to chat about her journey.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure. Thanks, Bhavna.
I am so happy. Firstly, I want to congratulate you and just say kudos to you, your journey. Yeah, I was reading, so let me just correct me if I'm wrong here, but 3 miscarriages, 3 failed surrogacies that you have had, 3 failed IVFs, and 3 IUIs. Oh my God, okay. After all of this, I really want to know what kept you going during that time.
Since I was 18, if I remember right, I won Miss Mumbai 95. So we're talking of some many decades ago.
Yeah.
So my winning answer also was the fact that I just want to be a mom. I really don't want to do anything. There's just one wish in my life if I get ever. So yeah, motherhood was something I really wanted to experience, and it just happened so very naturally because I got married and the same year I got pregnant. So I really never knew that. मुझे लगा wow, इतना आसान है. In 2 months I got a positive pregnancy. So बहुत खुशी हुई and all of that, and I reached till 5 months actually. I reached till 5 months and I had my first miscarriage. I was told there was no heartbeat. And it went on. I tried again next year. Again, I got pregnant. Again, I lost my baby. And it went on at least 4 times. The 4th one was not really to be considered because it was within a month. But yeah, 3 actual full pregnancies. And then, I'm not young. I'm married at like my 34 years when I got married. We're talking of almost a decade plus. And I said, you know what, I come what may, I'm not going to give up. Let me try various modern techniques, science had improved. And I said, agar naturally nahi ho raha hai, for whatever reasons, like I didn't even know what is the reason. I never really consulted anybody. मैं तो ऐसे हो जाती थी, तो मुझे ऐसा लगता था बड़ा आसान है यार. So, but ऐसा आसान नहीं था. It took a toll on my health because at that point I was actively working too. I had to kind of announce in my television show that bhai haar chada do, kya kare. I'm not going to lose this one at all. That was my second one. And the first one was very smooth till 5 months. But the second one, the fear takes over.
Yeah.
And you don't want to take a chance. And at that point, I was pretty much in the show, very active. And I said, no, I'm not going to work. I'm going to sit up and take care of myself. But as destiny had it, it wasn't meant to be. And so going on, cutting the long story short, I would like to say that after those miscarriages, I gave a gap. I stopped, completely stopped trying. Then I went to IVF, IUI, all of that, and every time I did it, I just felt, okay, God, just be kind. We're talking of just one chance, just give me that one chance to be a mother. But no, every time it failed and failed and failed. And they told me that, after 30, आपको actually आपके eggs freeze करने चाहिए थे.
Yeah.
So I said, what is that? What is eggs freezing? When I had 3-4 failed IVFs and IUIs, I just went into a real dip. I said, okay, mujhe kuch nahi chahiye. And my husband was like, it's affecting you. You might just get into depression, which probably is going to be really bad for you. And theek hai, nahi hai to nahi hai na. Matlab, it's fine, I said, okay, we will adopt. So, and he's like, it's okay, it's you just take care of yourself and we'll travel the world and we'll just have a good time and I have my nephews, my sister's sons who are pretty much like my own kids. So, and I said, नहीं वो तो ठीक है, माँ सी तो हूँ, मैं माँ जैसी हूँ, लेकिन मुझे माँ भी बनना है. So then.
But I'm sure during this entire phase also, seeing you in so much pain, not just physically but also mentally, people around you, your family, your friends must have told you कि क्यों Vandana, why are you going through
lot of my friends, and I've been always a life of party, the most bubbliest person, laughing, joking, dancing. I'm just like the Madhuri Dixit of the group, just dancing at any given song. So for them to see me low and upset and down and out, they just couldn't handle it. So they were like, you really don't know. Our babies are your babies, Vandy, what are you doing? Stop trying. And I said, nahi, theek hai, ek aur baar. Main karti gayi. And then I gave up. And then I just picked up this move. The first call I got for Dil Dhadakne Do, I just picked it up. And I said, I'm on. And it was a full 1 month international outdoor. And I said, no, I'm just getting away. I can't, because the body had taken a turmoil, because every IVF, you're taking about 40 injections on your own. Tuck, tuck. Wake up in the morning, tuck. Wake up in the morning. You're doing it yourself. It's so mechanical. So you put on 10, 12 kgs. And I said, no, I need a holiday. I need a break. I said, okay, now I'm ready, but not on myself. I will try surrogacy, and sadly, none of the surrogacy. So, and then I used to go to all these mandirs and dargahs, and everywhere I'd been to for 15 years, I was just like 12 females asking for a baby. So I said, I told Rajesh that, I just wanted one more time. And if this time it doesn't happen, I'm going to adopt. So he said, no, I'm okay. Initially, he was not very favorable for adoption, because he knew his age and my age combined together, we will not get a small baby. We will get somebody like a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old who already has it's not an impressionable mind. You cannot just create maternal and paternal feelings for that child. So he said no. I said no. One day, 2:00 in the night, I applied, and I got a reply that you'll get a 14-year-old. I wanted a daughter very badly. I really wanted a baby girl. So they said, you'll get a 14-year-old girl or something. I said, fine. They said, it'll take about 4-5 months, but because a lot of paperwork and all. I said, fine, that's okay. And I tried one last IVF and I was successful. So I don't know how to react. And I got the news that it was twins. So I was like, twins? And now, wow. So it was a whole...
मतलब ऐसा लगा होगा कि जितनी मन्नतें मांगी सब
मतलब एक साथ जैकपॉट मिल गया मतलब. और फिर रहा जर्नी शुरू हुआ. बहुत खुशियाँ थी. एंड देन मुझे डॉक्टर ने कहा कि आपकी यूट्रस लाइनिंग बहुत वीक है, और क्योंकि आप इस उम्र में हो और क्योंकि आप 2 बच्चे कैरी कर रहे हो, so it's twins, you cannot risk it, so we will have to tie up your uterus and put you on bed with your legs up, tied in the air, and you can't even go for any kind of susu, nothing. I mean, you can't even step down. And I was like, seriously? They said it's a life of bedpan now for the next few months. Are you ready for it? I said, huh?
But did Rajesh sir then have a problem? Because for him, it must have been excruciating to see you like that. I mean, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Was he okay?
We never expected it to reach, like, when the doctor said, I'm going to keep her here for a few days, it wasn't supposed to be like months, So it was all of that. And 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Finally, my doctor. So much. See, God just gave it to me in my doctor said, you know what, Vandana, we'll have to shift you to another hospital. And I said, I'm not leaving your hospital. I'm not leaving your shoulder. I'm not leaving your sari, your pallu, never. She said, I'm sorry, I'm going to the US. I have an emergency in the family and I have to go. You'll have to go to some other hospital which has an NICU system because you might have a premature delivery. So you need to save your children. Yeah, that time it was true. I said, no, you're not going. I'll be here with the nurses, but you're not going. But she was very adamant because she said, if I'm not there, I don't want to risk it, right? So, उन्होंने मुझे overnight women's hospital से मुझे shift किया गया था Surya Hospital, and it was in an ambulance, and like with again my legs up, not allowed to put my legs down on the road, and I just saw the road for the first time. You know, it's like it was a fresh air kind of situation, and I just opened my eyes and I was again on a bed, again with my legs up, in another hospital. This was my 5th month, 5.5 months. It was okay, the hospital was fine, but the doctor ruined it up. I mean, completely. I don't want to name her. So she gave me some kind of medication and injections. I started bleeding, and I immediately called up my proper doctor, my gynec, and I said, I'm bleeding. And she said, how can that happen? You know? And then we checked and they said, your one baby is no more. And I said, what? So now what? So my doctor said, hold on. You can, because they're in 2 different sacs. You can continue this pregnancy. Do not get carried away and do not terminate it for any reason. Just carry on. But this doctor here, सुबह cesarean section room में थी और मेरा cesarean हुआ. I was shown my baby for like 2 seconds. It was this much.
It is 700 grams.
Yeah, just this much. Small boy. And he was taken in the NICU. And you know, I told my baby that little 2 minutes, I said, you know what, your mother's been a fighter, you better be one. You know, you better be one. So he is a fighter. Look at him. He is.
I am so happy that you could finally. But tell me, how was it when you finally saw him? मतलब 15 साल का जो आपका मेहनत था, finally, of course, he was also fighting at that point. But to know that
मुझे हाथ नहीं लगाने दिया, मैंने हाथ भी नहीं लगाया था तब, और 2 सेकंड के लिए, you know. And when you're talking of 700 grams, you are not even talking. Nothing was formed. He did not look like a human. If I go right, technically.
Oh, he was obviously, because तभी तो वो he was just like
form ही नहीं था ना, मतलब it was just some fingers, some lanky, his eyes not, you know. बहुत ही अजीब सा मुझे लगा, मैंने कहा ये क्या है, you know. But at that point I wasn't even allowed to touch. It was just come, see, go. And he was in the NICU over there. I went down and saw my baby for the first time, and we named him Vandana and Rajesh. So we went there, and I just, at that point you don't know how to react, because I didn't know that postpartum depression would hit me. I didn't recognize it. So, and I was like, why does he look like this? Why is he kept like this? What are these fights? I have no clue. I've never been a mother. I've never seen a premature baby. I have no idea. I've never been to an NICU. मुझे तो अजीब ही लग रहा था. As soon as he came back from hospital, we discovered he had.
I was about to ask you, because you mentioned that the doctors had mentioned about.
No, he had hernia. Okay, I'm coming to that. So they told me that he has hernia. You need to immediately do a surgery, hernia operation. So, and he was just so small. He was just like a month old or so. And I said, are you sure? So they said, हाँ. So imagine he had to go through the whole proper operation with anesthesia and all of that.
He actually went through it.
Yeah. He's gone through many anesthesias and many operations. I'm coming to that. So he went through anesthesia and he had his first surgery, hernia surgery. And they told me कि कभी-कभी ना सब लोग पेरेंट्स एक साथ दोनों साइड कर लेते हैं, लेकिन लकीली आपके बच्चे का एक साइड है तो आपका एक ही ऑपरेशन होगा. ऐसे ठीक है. और डिस्कशन के बाद हमने वो किया. And then the second, as soon as he came home, after 2 days, we had a checkup. They said second side भी आ गया. And we had to do another operation. And I started getting really paranoid with what's going on. I couldn't see him responding. So one doctor said, "नहीं मैं वो शायद वो देख नहीं सकता, वो सुन नहीं सकता." Some kind of bizarre statement. A very popular, renowned pediatrician of the city said that, I don't think he can see anything. You need to do this, these numbers of tests, and you have to check out what is wrong. And I took my baby and I started making him go through hundreds of tests and MRIs. So this small little child has gone through an MRI machine. And there was actually nothing wrong with my child. He was absolutely fine. It's just that he was a premature baby. It'll take him time to kind of catch up, but touch wood, by the grace of God, he's doing so well. And so this whole rubbish, this got me crazy, and I started hallucinating at some point. I'm told that, something's wrong with him, he's not right, we need to get him here, we need to check him here. All those kind of fears got into me because of the doctors. And I collapsed. It was the lockdown, last lockdown, I collapsed. My baby was taken care of, but luckily my mother-in-law was visiting, so the mother and mother-in-law were taking care, and Rajesh again had to take me to the hospital, and again I was in hospital on bed, dealing with postpartum depression, because at that point I refused to take medication or even see a doctor. I would lock myself in the room in the dark, and think that why me? What's happening? So I loved my baby no end. But I just felt that there's something wrong. And one fine day I was brought home. I was taken to a psychiatrist and I was on medication. And I agreed to take medication because I wanted to recover. I didn't know what was happening to me. I wanted my child to have a perfect childhood with a normal, stable mother.
That is so important that you mentioned this, because a lot of mothers actually go through postpartum depression. Not many know about it, but they have gone through it at so many levels as well.
And
but
even if they know about it, they think ये तो पागलपन है, मतलब मैं पागल थोड़ी ना हूँ, और मैं क्यों दवाई लूँ?
When any mother, in fact, embraces motherhood, the body changes so much. आपके केस में तो इतना ज़्यादा आपने endure किया था. I think it is very important at that point to have your partner support you and tell you that you are desirable even in that moment, because otherwise
I put on a lot of weight, and because of the postpartum, so much happened. Injections and medication, and every injection makes you, in a bad condition. Of course, Rajesh has been, I would not deny the fact that he's been there like a rock. He doesn't turn around and tell me, yeah, you're sexy, वैसा तो नहीं है. But, he's there. That's most important. And I got a lot of body shaming also. होता है, बहुत होता है. और
on the social media.
Yeah, sometimes on social media, sometimes people random. Social media पे आजकल मैं कुछ देख रही हूँ, because मैं, जैसे मैंने कहा कि I took Yuvan to all the places where I decided to I had asked for Mannat, so I started with Dehradun. We went but wherever we went, I stayed in beautiful resorts. So I started showing Yuvan, nature, something which is not seen. So Dehradun, then we went to Haridwar, we went to Amritsar Golden Temple.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
So all of these places, and then Vrindavan. तो वहाँ जाके कुछ नहीं हुआ. सब कुछ ठीक ठाक था. दिल्ली में आके, my husband got COVID, which was so strange because we didn't realize Delhi was peak. It's like totally struck. So वहाँ पर जब I was talking about the fact that I started seeing a lot of troll messages. People writing बहुत चूल है, दादा दादी बच्चे के साथ घूम रहे हैं. उम्र तो देखी है क्या, दादाजी बच्चे को घूम के चल रहे हैं. Ishaan, because Ishaan, he's also a known figure. So what happens is now Ishaan's age bracket and Yuvan's are completely, it's so different, you know.
Of course, yeah.
So, and they write such nasty comments sometimes. I just smile it off. But I'm going to bring it up someday soon. I'm going to kind of talk about it. I'm going to talk about the fact, because this is a very, very important thing to convey to a lot of people, that age really doesn't matter. Age really doesn't matter. Because if Rajesh is holding a baby, they say, "Dadaji aa gaye bacche ko leke." You know, it's so nasty. It's so nasty.
It is very nasty, and sometimes I feel that people who are writing all those things without even giving it a thought, how it can affect the other person out there.
मतलब कहाँ क्या करके हम यहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं, and they write that, and of course me and Rajesh have a 10-year age difference. I'm definitely much younger, but that doesn't mean आप इस तरह की comments लिखें, because like there are so many people. Like, let's talk about somebody in the Bollywood fraternity itself. In a similar situation, there is Saif Ali Khan, and there is a Kareena Kapoor, and she has a great bond with Sarah and Ibrahim, you know, and so it's possible. And today they have such two cute babies who are toddlers, you know, one is an infant and one is a toddler. And look at Sarah and Ibrahim's age. So it happens. So what? You know, we are talking about industry, and there are millions of people. यार, मतलब एक घर में सास और बहू एक साथ प्रेग्नेंट हुआ करते थे भाई. एक जमाने में वो होता था.
Each your own. I mean, it is your journey to motherhood. Why have they? Who are they?
Girl, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. As Vandana, it doesn't matter at all.
Also, coming back to the body shaming part, because I know, I mean, you know, it can, and especially when you're going through a phase where you are in depression. You are anyway low. To read things where people are commenting about your weight without knowing that you're actually going through a lot.
Yeah.
What was your coping mechanism back then?
I mean, I really, like I said, I never took it to heart. I never took it to heart. I did have my bouts of, you know, helplessness. I would be not knowing what to do, but then I told myself, you know, it's your fault. It's not their fault, because they're going to keep talking. It's your fault. You should get up and do something about it. Fatso, you are fat now. You know, you're not the same. You need to stop, because you indulge. You just sit on your bum and you don't do anything. So I would take it as an inspiration to myself. I would just, you know, tell myself, let them say, they're going to say it anyway. You know, you might not have that 24-inch waistline that you had some time back, but it's fine. You know, how many of them can go through what you did? So
I can tell you very few. I don't know anyone who has gone through all of this and is smiling right in front of me while she's talking about that journey. Kudos to you, like really kudos to you for that. You tell me, how has it been post, मतलब जब वो काफी अच्छे खासे मतलब recover हुए हैं, how has life changed post that? How have you changed post that?
It's completely, like I said, when he's just, now he started walking, he's, you know, saying mama, papa, and I because there's nothing for him to do, you know, here what happened. So we came to Delhi, and his brother, his sister-in-law, the kids, everybody got affected with COVID. So my son it was his first time in Delhi, and he saw my father-in-law for the first time, and he expired, my father-in-law. So it was like as if my father-in-law was waiting just to see my son. He was bedridden. So he can't meet anybody, because वो बेचारा isolated है मेरे साथ room में, और वो मैं और मेरी maid और ये 3 लोग. Because Rajesh is just about to recover. His family is still kind of infected, so he's isolating. He has no cousins his age. I can't take him out because the fear is so much.
So much, yeah.
You know, and he's still under 2, so he's not allowed to wear a mask. You know, the doctors say no mask till 2 years. So वो actually in a way मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा भी हो गया. Bonding बहुत अच्छी है. We're spending a lot of time together, you know, and that's there. But he does get, you know, for him it's all about adults. He's only seen adults. He doesn't know kids. His cousins are not of his age. He can't be hugged because, oh my God, you know, COVID. So ये बच्चे, like Yuvan, हजारों बच्चे हैं. It's sad for them, yeah. It's sad for them. But life has changed in many ways. I think it's like a dream come true, and now I really don't want it because I have got what I wanted, and now if at all I want something in life, it's sad that so many kids have lost their parents to COVID, and unfortunately, the laws of the country are not so proactive in terms of adoption is concerned. It's not so easy. But I would love to adopt a baby girl.
But you tell me, before I let you go, because it's not just the journey to motherhood that has been challenging for you, but also the marriage, because you married someone who was 10 years elder. Not just that, उनका जो नीलिमा मैम के साथ भी जो relationship था, again that was much talked about.
I was single. I had never been married. I had no baby, and here was a man who he's been through all of that, right? So,
but did you get to hear a lot because of that as well?
बहुत कुछ सुनने मिला. In fact, I was the one who was insisting. I don't think he ever wanted to marry again. He was very clear that he didn't want to marry. He'd been through that. He said, "Yaar, live in karna to kar lo, but impossible. I'm not getting into matrimony." But I was stuck.
You guys took that decision and that plunge because touch wood, everything has been fine so far, so good. But Yuvan has a brother, an older brother in Ishaan as well. Is there a bond that happens there? Are you in touch with the family
like when Yuvan was born, Ishaan came home, and when Yuvan he was very tiny, of course. So there was no interaction as such. This is a very small baby, must have been like a few months old. So he was playing with him and all of that. Then with a couple of FaceTime, video calls and all of that. And then immediately the lockdown happened. So we never got a chance to kind of go to Ishaan's house, which we used to frequent also, because I'm very friendly with Neelima also. So we used to go there sometimes, or they would come home. But Neelima's come home even after that. She's seen Yuvan in a little more grown up stage, And but then the whole lockdown happened, and then Ishaan, he moved to Goa for a few months, and then we were homebound. So ye sari cheezein did not. But Ishaan has been very much in touch with all of us, especially in these times now, because Rajesh was in hospital with COVID and all of that. He's been, absolutely.
Touch wood. I hope that it remains the same, the bond, the friendship, the love within the family. I think it remains the same. But thank you so much, Vandana ma'am, for sharing this story, because I'm sure it will inspire a lot of people, because I know I was inspired, and I genuinely, when I say this, believe me, you are a super mom. And how,
thank you.
Yuvan, when he grows up and when he reads or just sees maybe this interview, I don't know, or many others which might happen, I'm sure he'll be so proud of you. So proud of him.
I'm proud of him too. I'm very proud of him. What a fighter he is. What a fighter.
Very, very much. But thank you so much for sharing this, and a very, very, very happy Mother's Day to you.